Oh, dear. Finally, Neil, what have we got for us?
First story is, now, you would think one of the minimum criteria for being Defence Secretary is to be discreet. You would think that would be one of the minimum criteria. So, poor old gaffe-prone Defence Secretary Bob Ainsworth has inadvertently revealed that the general election is going to be on May the 6th, something that a lot of people knew, or certainly surmised about, but now he's kind of let it out on live TV. You can just imagine now on the Afghan-Pakistani border, Al-Qaeda are going, right, get an operative down to his pub and we can find out all the defence stuff that's going on, because this guy clearly can't keep a secret very well.
The clip was fantastic when I saw it, because he goes on and on and on. They're all going to have to think twice about this after the election on May the 6th.
Yeah.
So he says it's as clear as day. And then his spokesman said afterwards he was speaking speculatively.
Yeah, of course he was. Nice one, Bob. Can you imagine the cabinet meeting this morning when he walked in? He would go, right, guys, all right, everyone going...
And then
I won't do the gesticulation.
And then someone pointing out he's got a tash like Hitler's, which is another one to add to the list, eh?
Yeah. More Stalin-esque, but there you go. OK, Tony Blair is going to be before the Chilcot inquiry. 6 hours, apparently, of course, to say what he's got to say about why this country went to war in Iraq. And it's going to cost the taxpayer £250,000 to keep the area away from people who might want to protest. They believe that there are going to be thousands of people that will turn up to protest against Tony Blair. The 250 grand taxpayer, now, doesn't he get paid that for the average speaking?
Yeah,
I mean,
much,
perhaps he could, you know, he probably got that cash behind his sofa. You know,
half that to get a photo of him. When you're saying that he should pay for his own security.
Well, you know, I mean, 250 grand is probably not a lot to him, is it?
But well, you just have to think about all the good he did for this country while he was our beloved leader. So that kind of balances it all out.
Well, there you go.
And if we're going to talk about really exorbitant costs, I mean, there is the cost of the conflicts in Iraq, which he started, and Afghanistan, which goes on, which of course runs into billions. So it's cheap at
will
half the
continue
price.
for the foreseeable future. And then this very kind of troubling story. I don't think you have to be a paranoid conspiracy theorist to ask the question, why is it that the former UN weapons inspector, Dr. David Kelly's medical file is going to be locked away for 70 years? Now, I don't know if you remember this story, but this man was, it was revealed that he was behind the BBC story claiming evidence against, in the run-up to the Iraq War, had been sexed up to justify the invasion, and then a few days later he was found dead from a suicide. Now, one of the defences for why this is not being released, these medical files, is that it will protect his children. Now, you would kind of think perhaps his children would like to know what happened to their father, wouldn't you? Yeah. Wouldn't you? I mean, I would certainly want to know what happened to my father. So 70 years, and apparently there's all kinds of different things that usually would happen. There's never been a coroner's inquest into his death, apparently.
And experts commenting on the type of suicide, the vein that he slashed, how difficult it is to get to.
Well, how difficult, yeah, especially if you've taken...
knife.
Yeah, as I said, you don't need to be Oliver Stone.
I was going to say, I hate conspiracy theories, but it does seem interesting when a government seems to feed them.
Well,
there's one way to blow away a conspiracy
theory, absolutely,
and that's
to be open and
openness.
honest.
But it means you have to stay alive for the next 70 years to find out what really happened.
Yeah.
So it gives you incentive to stay fit and keep
That means my grandchildren may get to find out about it.
It is intriguing.
OK, so there's that. And lastly, would you want to be buried with your dog, or would your dog, you know, be buried next to you? When you die, you can have a separate plot next to you so that Fido or Tiddles or Ninja or whatever,
so-and-sos this morning, haven't we?
it gets buried with you, because...
I didn't think there was enough space to bury people.
Well, this is the point, isn't it?
Well, this is the special cemetery they're starting,
yes, officials in Lincolnshire last week
Oh,
approved
Lincolnshire.
the
Well, that
latest...
explains everything. There's loads of them in Lincolnshire.
Joint animal and human... So does that mean people will start moving to Lincolnshire in knowledge that they can be buried next to their favourite pet? I don't know. I thought people buried their pets... I've got a dog, a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. I thought people bury them in their gardens. Is that what happens?
Unless if you've got a garden, of course. There's plenty of people that don't have gardens.
But you can't be buried in your own garden, so if you want to be buried with your soulmate...
I don't want to be buried in my own garden.
But I mean, people love their animals. Why not?
Yeah, that's true. Well, you know...
In 300,000 years' time, when they're digging it up, they're saying, what a peculiar culture this was.
There'll be a lot of other things pointing towards it.
should do it the Egyptian way, and if you die, the animal gets put in with you when they're dead or
mummified.
alive. So you die, and all your servants.
And all your servants, and your wife.
Just have the dog stuffed and just keep it there on the sofa for you, see?
I always told the story of my friend whose dead cat kept it in the freezer, didn't know what to do with it. He kept it in the freezer for 2 years.
What kind of friends do you have?
That's a fair point. It's a fair point. And I didn't even know. I just went to the freezer to get some burgers out of it. This dead cat.
And you know how when you go to... You know how when you go to the freezer and you get something out, you think, what was that? You'd end up cooking it, wouldn't you? Oh.
1001 uses for, yes. Now, after the break, should judges name Doncaster's Devil Boys? Maybe we all think we'd like to know, but why? So they can really suffer for their sins? But what if that means it's harder for them to rehabilitate themselves back into society? What if that means we have to pay through the nose for them to have new identities when they're eventually freed? 0207 173 5555 is the number for your thoughts on this. Your calls, and nothing but after these ads.
Lifelong anonymity for James Bulger's killers is likely to cost £40,000, £400,000 or £4 million. Find out after the ads.